Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode. What episode are we in?
Ooh,
Eight?
7?
No, 8, 9, 8.
Maybe.
Welcome to one of our episodes here at Girl Geek and the Gang. I am your host, Jose. Here on my left, I have the beautiful Megan,
Hello.
and to my right, I have the very sexy Jaime.
Hi.
How you guys doing today?
Good.
All
Good.
right.
I'm good.
afraid to
I'm
say
coming
good.
off my hangry.
Yeah, we had to feed Megan before she would do the show, so
Especially this early.
This is getting expensive.
It's gonna get more expensive.
How are you, Jose?
Man, I actually had probably the worst work week of my life.
Oh no.
It was Murphy's Law in full effect. So I showed up for work Monday, right? Actually, I didn't even show up for work yet. I woke up probably around. I wanted to be there at 1 in the morning. I
Mhm.
wanted to be out of there by 2 in the morning. That was my plan. So I wake up to a video that my buddy sent me. Thank you. That my buddy sent me about my truck, and one of the tires was just flat. It's 1 in the morning. I call my boss, and he's like, "Well, you're gonna have to wait till they open the tire shop, which is like till 7 in the morning."
Well,
So I go back to sleep. You know, I wake up, I go get my tire changed. Now I go to pick up my container. I have a flat tire in the container. So I have to wait. And I move the truck and I go park off to the side because I've never been there that late.
mhm.
So it's a little busy. It's busier than usual at
Oh,
least.
got it.
So there's trucks just moving around. So I don't
Right.
want to be in the way. I just move.
Right.
Finally, I get a call back to where to grab my other container.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated at this point just because it's so late. I know I'm not gonna be back till a lot later than
Right.
I wanted.
Right.
I did not notice that I was parked next to this like 3-foot tall concrete divider. So when I go to pull out, I hit that thing and just scratched up the entire side of the truck, broke the rear fender on it.
Oh no.
So, you know,
Such a Monday.
yeah. So I get to that container, hook up to it, flat tire. So I have to call back, wait another 15 minutes, finally get a container, I get out of there.
Wait, another
Another flat-
container?
yeah.
What the heck?
So now I finally get out of there, and I'm just like, I'm hungry. Like, usually I try not to stop because stopping is gonna waste
Delay
my
you.
time.
Got
Yeah.
you.
So I was like, I'm hungry. I'm just gonna stop and get some food. So I stopped at Jersey Mike's in like Baker, California, and it's packed. It's jam packed.
Damn.
Right? But I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna wait. I've already had a long day. I'm just gonna wait for to get my sandwich and go.
Yeah.
So I wait probably about 20 minutes, maybe a little longer. Finally get to the front of the line, and they're like, our system just went down, so it's cash only.
Oh my goodness.
Guess who doesn't have any cash on them?
Oh, great. And that set the tone for the rest of the week.
Yeah, every single container I got all week, flat tires.
What the heck?
Every single one of them.
Somebody messing with you?
I don't know. The one I got on Wednesday had 2 flat tires on it.
Oh.
And then on Wednesday night, when I'm heading back up to St. George, Utah,
Mm-hmm.
I am hit with a lightning storm,
Wow.
and I start laughing because I'm just like, I would be the one person to get hit with a lightning storm in the summer.
Stop. Stop it. I would have took pictures.
I have pictures.
Oh,
I
nice,
have
cool.
pictures and videos. So
Cool, yeah.
I will actually I should post those.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah,
Instagram.
so that was my week. Just busted containers and
Yeah.
I couldn't even get back in. So I had fraud on my credit card
Oh,
last week
wow.
on two credit cards and 1 debit card.
Jeez.
So I thankfully I have an emergency credit card,
Mhm.
so that's what I've been using to get through the week.
Wow.
But I haven't been able to get home to pick up the new ones they sent.
Right. Oh.
So yeah, that's what it was.
Sounds like a fun week.
Oh my god.
What did you end up
It's
eating?
over.
So I stopped at this Mexican restaurant, quote unquote.
Mexican.
Oh my god! All
Is
right,
that Taco Bell?
it's called Mr. Taco, which I stopped there not because I thought it was a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
But all right, so I've been there before. Their beans are terrible. Like, they have probably the worst beans that I've ever had in
no.
any place.
Yeah.
So I always order my food without beans, and I ordered my burrito without beans. Oh, and I also got asada fries. The asada fries were pretty good.
Oh, I saw the fries. Okay.
Yeah. But on my way back, I'm already frustrated. But I'm like, okay, I'm on my way back already.
Mhm.
Everything's kind of done. I bite into my burrito. They put fucking beans in it.
Oh no.
I ate like half of it. I was like, nah, I can't. Like, this is disgusting.
No. All bad. Megan loved that story.
Like I've never seen Megan smile that
so
big.
excited about.
She was just so happy with my misery.
No, the beans just, I don't know, just
The topping
the
on the
rest of the
cake.
story was just kind of like, okay, I mean, shit happens, but with the beans, it was just like something's out to get you.
Something's
That's
out to
funny.
get you. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So it's been that kind of week for me. But now I'm here. We're doing
Cool.
the show.
Yeah.
I actually watched Loki twice this week.
Nice, good
I
job.
know.
And you took notes. You said, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Like,
he
oh,
didn't. God
okay.
knows.
So no.
You know.
Got it.
Why do you believe him?
I thought he had his phone now. I thought it was gonna be on his phone.
That's how Jamie gets kidnapped.
Yeah. I was checking my door, make sure I didn't leave it open.
We were actually talking about that before we came up. I was like,
we should just go up to his door.
we were waiting for you, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go in. Like, I can walk in. Like, apparently people just do that anyways
They
here.
used to. They used to. It was a real thing. Anyway, how was your week? How was your week, Megan?
It was a week. Yeah.
She's like, it happened.
I saw
was
your.
there.
I mean, do I remember it? No, but it was there.
I saw your mystery thing. I was curious what that
murder
was.
mystery.
Yeah, like what were you doing?
So it's a game, I guess. It's called it's from Hunt a Killer. So you have to look for, like, solve the crime and all that.
Okay.
I've been trying to, like, I wanted to try it because a lot of YouTubers that I watch that are like murder mystery or
Okay.
even like just crime, whatever,
Yeah.
right? They get sponsored by it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, you get to solve like a little, little murder mystery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they had it at Target,
Oh,
and
cool.
like, I went with my boyfriend, and he was like, surprise, and I was like, yay.
Awesome.
So yeah, I was solving a murder.
Yeah, you're always doing things that I'm like, that looks fun. I should do that. But then it's like Megan did it.
He's like, I just can't post about it.
I
now."
just can't share it now. Damn it, Megan. Okay. No,
How
but
about
no, it
you?
looks like
I'm
fun.
an
just checking.
influencer.
Look at you. Hey, do you watch like Murders with My Husband? It's a YouTube
With
channel.
your husband?
Not with my, not like that's the name of the YouTube
I
channel.
recently
your
heard of
husband.
that.
Okay, because I found it on TikTok, and so I started watching it on YouTube. But that's the name of the YouTube channel is Murders with My Husband or something like that. And I just thought maybe you watched it too.
No, I watch. My favorite right now is That Chapter.
Okay.
I like the guy. Like, I think he's Scottish.
Okay.
I don't know, but he has
an
like a
accent?
cute little accent. And I
Nice.
was like,
Oh, you
"Ooh."
sent that to me, and I actually
Yeah.
did not like him.
I like him.
Oh my God.
I could not stand it. And,
I
and I
absolutely
have a
like
thing
him.
for accents. Anybody's accent. But just like,
He's adorable.
no, he
I like him.
sounded dead in the eyes. I know
First
what I
of all,
said.
he is dead in the eyes, and that's why I love him. That's
Oh
part
my
of his
God.
appeal. Also, Mr. Ballin, the one that I sent you that you, I guess, binged apparently.
Oh, yeah. I think I watched all of those videos.
really
those
like
were
them.
pretty, yeah, they were very interesting.
You could share some with me too, because I'm now into getting into those murders. Except they creep me out after a while. I'm like, let me lock my door.
You should be locking your door anyway.
I do lock my door. I do lock my door. I do lock.
God.
And every time, even if I leave my door unlocked for a split second, I think about you guys. I'm like, I should lock my door. I don't think about my demon. I think about you guys.
They're going to make fun of me.
Yeah, they're gonna walk in and make fun of me. Like, look, you could have died right now. Thanks,
Oh,
Simon.
I actually had McDonald's chicken nuggets yesterday,
What?
and I was like, Jamie's a fool. I was like, why did he get breakfast? He should have got chicken nuggets.
Okay, you're right. The nuggets are better.
They are
What about the
actually.
filet o fish?
I don't eat that.
Why?
I only eat nuggets at.
Oh, okay.
At
I like the
McDonald's.
filet o fish too.
I don't eat anything else. I wanted a Happy Meal. I wanted the toy. They have the Space Jam. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God.
What about you, Jaime? How was your week?
It was good. I worked mostly. I'm trying to think. I don't think I did really anything. We went for a walk this morning, as always, as we've been doing. But just like locally, nothing too far from here. But that's it. That's pretty much it. I was actually working in a store this time too yesterday, and there's a person there that I just can't stand working with. I need to express that.
What's her
because
name?
I'm not gonna say her name. She knows who she
Okay,
is.
tell me after the show.
She knows who she is.
Tell me after the show.
She's crazy, but
I
and
feel
so
like
just
we're
yesterday-
missing out on stories now.
No, I mean, well, she's just a really obnoxious. Like, for example, I don't know how far this is gonna get, but okay, so
Oh, we got time.
So apparently they hadn't been receiving. They weren't opening their mail at this place where I work, right?
Okay.
And so somebody was sending checks to pay for their bill to this place for like the last 6 or 7 months, right? So they have checks for like 6 or 7
Yeah.
months. Homegirl was like, "Oh, how can we cash that and like use it for us?" I'm like, "What? That's not how it works." The first of all, that's fraudulent.
A little bit, yeah.
Then again, she has a job, so I guess just that type of environment. So she's a very, very toxic person, and she just kind of set the tone for yesterday all day for me. But I'm okay now. I'm off. I don't have to see that person for a while, so I'll be fine. I'll survive.
All right.
Obnoxious. That's just me complaining. It's okay. I lived.
It's okay. That's what we're here for. It's therapeutic.
Thank you. I needed
Yeah.
that. I needed to vent.
It helps. Now like 29 people have heard you, so
Yeah. Now they all know the story. They might tell her.
yeah.
I hope they tell her.
I hope she finds out. She
Megan just
burns.
wants the drama. Like, look at how giddy she is.
I had coffee. I had a bagel. I'm pretty
The
happy.
good thing is that she'll never know that I'm really talking about her, but she'll probably know that I'm talking about her based on the stories. So,
Oh, she knows.
yeah, she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
I hope she knows.
Yeah,
She listens to this.
yeah. I hope she does. I hope somehow this episode specifically touches her ears and she realizes how much of a person she is.
Yeah.
A person, quote unquote.
Yeah, because visual aids are perfect for podcasting.
I quote it afterwards. All right.
I guess so. Loki.
Loki.
Loki ended finally, and first off, I'm gonna say I am really happy that they're gonna have a season 2.
Yes.
I think that was the best news in the episode.
Okay.
I know you two watched it before me
Yeah.
and wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was funny that what we said they couldn't do is almost exactly what they did. There's no way this is gonna
They're like,
happen.
"Watch us.
Yeah, there's
Hold
no
my
way.
beer."
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna introduce a bad guy in the last episode.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did.
Actually, like, it was perfect for them to do that because who they introduced was Immortus, even though they didn't call him that.
Yeah.
Which is the one that I was telling you guys about. That met the timekeepers, travels back in time to save the timeline, and instead of conquering it, he's like they tell him like just save it.
Mm-hmm.
he's a benevolent time.
Yeah, and
He Who Remains, I think that's
Yeah,
what
He
they're
Who
calling it.
Remains.
But I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
That was really like it was great, and I thought I don't know his name, but
Jonathan Majors.
he was fantastic. Like I
He was so
absolutely adored it, and I cried a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I really I did enjoy the episodes, especially it was cool that there was a reason behind it, right? I wasn't
Yeah.
completely upset about the fact that again they did what we said couldn't be done or what shouldn't be done at this last episode. I thought it was going to be a series finale, and again that was going to be the end of Loki,
Yeah.
but obviously it's not going to be that anymore. So is it Kang that becomes Immortus, or is Immortus just a separate person altogether?
So, Kang, he was Kang the Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
He gets contacted by the timekeepers because
Okay.
they're real in the comics.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So, because what happens, I guess, is that the timeline like it does like end like it does like it destroys itself basically.
Okay.
And so they're like at the end of time, and they do come back in time, and they give Kang the Conqueror. They kind of make him a deal, like if you like stop conquering them and actually just try to save this timeline,
Yeah.
we'll give you immortality. And he's like, okay. So
Yeah.
that's how he becomes
Immortus. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's still essentially a Kang, which
Mhm.
is what they kind of implied in the show, right? It's so what's gonna happen is gonna be Kangs are gonna start. And a lot of this, by the way, guys, we kind of jokingly predicted a lot of this, and throughout the episodes, because I was like, I know we mentioned this at a certain point. In fact, right before you, like, the last episode that we recorded, Megan, you were talking about like you were talking about specifically about like a multiversal war like type of thing, you know, like the whole Kangs, like maybe it's gonna be Kang and stuff like that. You actually did say that, so came to be true.
Oh wow, I say a lot of things, huh?
Yeah, it became a whole Secret Wars thing, which was, you know, again, is going to be really focused around Kangs. And then I remember in one of the episodes we even talked about, oh yeah, well, unless they make it like 3 different Kangs across 3 different like movies or something like that, which is again looks like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be. It seems like it's going to be a big Secret Wars. In relation to the Kang Wars that they had specifically, which is maybe why we get new Avengers and stuff like that.
And what's cool about that is that you get new Avengers, but you also can get old Avengers in it.
Oh yeah.
Because they won't be necessarily the same from our time. Yeah, I guess our timeline, right?
Yeah.
The one that we know.
The main continuity.
Yeah, so you could get like, what's his name? Chris Evans coming back, and he could be like from a different, you know, timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really well done. Like the beginning, when they enter the Citadel, the Council of Ricks. I'm sorry, but when they enter the Citadel, like when I saw the cracks, I thought of Doctor Who. Remember what is it called?
The cracks in time.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Yeah, okay, I can see that, you know, like the whole like Doctor Who like cracks in time and how they're kind of just pieced together, like, which is what he did, you know, he's keeping it pieced together.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it was just like a whole mess, you know.
Right.
And I just thought it was like, it was really interesting, and it was great to see Loki actually changed. Like he's not Loki, like he was offered everything, and he's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then even like when he's talking to Immortus, or I don't know what was his name.
Kang.
He at the end of time, or Kang or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
remains.
it's any. Yeah, he who remains, right?
He
Like,
That's
yeah,
what they, that's what they were
Yeah.
as.
So when he's talking to him, you know, he's like, I'm a liar, and that doesn't sound like a lie, you know, and he's just really listening to him, and you know, he's just the voice of reason here, which I mean, Loki, the voice of reason, man, is not. He's far from that. But I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed the episode. Like I did tear up. I was like, this is so good. I think Jonathan Majors, right?
Yes.
He did such a good job. Like he's, you know, portraying this character who's a little Mad Hatterish, you know, a little insane.
He did remind me a lot of Willy Wonka. He was very Willy Wonka-ish.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which, I mean, it makes sense for someone who's been alone. No, not Gene Wilder, the only Willy Wonka.
There's a scene where he even does the thing where he just leans on his fist.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I see it.
Very Gene Wilder. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see Death Note?
Yes.
It kind of reminded me of Elle, and like from my perspective, because you know, Elle was very always crouching, you know, like crouching down and eating snacks, and it just like the mannerisms was very similar to that, even in the way he kind of talked. Obviously, his voice wasn't as deep, but the way they would say things is very like, that's what it reminded me of personally.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I like that. Like I like that he was like kind of crazy, because you would be, you know, you're alone for so long, and he's lived for what, like thousands of years, millions of years, we don't know, right?
Right.
But,
because he's at the end of time, coming from the 31st
century, exactly. Yeah.
He's just by himself the whole time, and he even like when he's talking, like he's just so defeated a little bit, like, okay, well, whatever happens, you know, and he's kind of happy not knowing what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
You know. So I really enjoyed that, and I liked his portrayal of it, actually.
Yeah, it was a fun character for sure.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he will portray each iteration of that character.
That's crazy, huh?
Because that's going to take a lot of versatility.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country, so I know that he could play that serious character. And in Lovecraft Country, even like he has, there's a lot of different aspects to that character where it does shift a lot.
Yeah.
So I know that he has the range, but I just really want to see what he's going to do with this character. Yeah. Because, you know, he starts off here where, you know, Megan called it like Mad Hatterish.
Yeah.
You know, which is perfect. I think that's a great.
Yep.
description of it.
Yeah.
I know words.
They were going somewhere. Yeah. They could have. I liked his portrayal for sure. I just wish they would have done more with his look, in general. I guess just because.
You were expecting the comic book look.
I mean,
Well, that's
at
the
least something
Conqueror,
closer. Yeah, something closer, right? And it could be a variety of different things. It was a little simple for my taste, but then again, I like the over the top comic book looks for like different stuff.
If you see Immortus, I mean, they kind of put elements, which is the robe, the
Yeah.
long purple
Yeah.
robe.
And
which
he's just
is
like
what
an
he
old guy,
wears.
right?
Yeah,
Immortus?
he's kind
Al-
of like.
Although if I lived by myself in the end of time,
You wouldn't care?
Yeah, I'd probably just wear a robe all the time.
Okay.
I wouldn't even button it.
Yeah, yeah. I just think for his personality, for how he was, like you're describing, even Mad Hatterish, there could have been more for his look in general. He was just a guy at the end of the time, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine. It wasn't terrible. I'm just saying, like, I would have liked a little bit more visual appeal.
If at the end of the episode, where you see the statue, he's wearing like the Conqueror. Like that statue's dressed as Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, okay. He didn't have like a helmet piece.
No, he
or
didn't have the
anything
helmet
that.
piece,
Okay.
but
Yeah, like a Caesar piece, which I mean, for me, that was like Kang the Emperor right there.
Did he
'cause
really?
just-
Like he had like a.
Yeah, if you look at his head, I mean, I could be wrong.
thought it was
could
his
be
hair.
something
I didn't
else.
see it.
Like it kind of looked like he had like like
Yeah,
the
the
wreath that comes
Oh.
up like.
I
Caesar.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it looked like that a little bit, and I was
I'll
like,
check it out.
like
Yeah.
I was like, this is like gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know. Maybe I could get your guys' perspective on this, but
I
do
watched
you
the episode
think-
twice, so. Of the
So
right
no
person to
perspective,
ask.
huh? All right.
He fell asleep.
So Jaime, going back to you, sir. But
Here.
I actually did fall asleep the first time.
Wow, who are you, Jaime?
I was.
am I the
I
only
had a
one
long
taking
week.
this seriously? I don't even
I
want
took
to
it
be
seriously.
here.
I took it seriously. This episode I took really seriously. I was
Oh,
really
God.
excited.
Okay, okay.
I'm forced to be here and I'm doing your work.
You want your cat back, right?
I got 4 others. We're good.
Oh my god.
But-
Wow.
It was 3 last
Oh
time.
my god. It's multiplying.
5. But like, okay, so you know how at the end Loki's kicked into the TVA, back
Yeah.
to TVA,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is a different timeline of the TVA,
Yes.
right? Do you think there's different Kangs controlling different timelines at this point then?
Yeah.
Like, because that was kind of like, because they're TVA and,
Yeah.
they're looking at the time like, oh, what does he want us to do now? And they're talking about Kang.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's like, is he controlling that timeline and all
Mhm.
these other Kangs are controlling those timelines? Is that...
That
like-
was my understanding of it because again they killed the one, right? The one that was keeping everything together, the one that was controlling the timeline. So that's why his character, like at the end, he was like, "Well, see you soon," right? He was talking about him coming back,
His
but then
reincarnation.
yeah, but then also talking about they were like, "Hey, there's going to be a lot more of me
Yeah.
coming now, especially because we had that multiversal war, multiversal. That's
Yeah.
the correct word? Okay, war going on. So for sure, like him." That timeline where Loki was thrown into was already controlled by a Kang or by that character at that point. So it does seem that way. Where he didn't have to have a facade of the timekeepers. He was just like, what,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just gonna be myself. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna say I'm controlling the timeline.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have all these Kangs just controlling like different like
Different
timelines. They're
timelines.
Yeah.
conquering the timeline, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe some controlling, maybe some letting it just be, maybe some because again that's the whole point.
He has a lot of different.
Yeah, and some are going to be evil, some are going to be good, right? There's a lot to consider. So yeah, for sure it seemed that way. Like that in that timeline, it's going to be controlled by a Kang, just straight up, no mercy.
What he said.
You didn't even do your own job.
No, I do agree with Hyman. Like that's what it looked like because, for instance, in the timeline we had been following, all of the statues are timekeepers.
Yes. Yeah.
And in this timeline, it's not like things changed. But we already have that statue of Kang the Conqueror there. At least that's what it looks like. If you look at the outfit, it looks like the Conqueror version.
Yeah.
And that was also one thing I did like that they didn't do. They didn't name him.
Yeah.
So it was-
I did.
Down, girl. Jesus. So yeah, it looks like different Kangs control different timelines, and maybe it is that like what Jaime said, it's just one Kang slowly conquering timeline after timeline, which is why he's not hiding behind the
The facade.
facade.
Yeah.
word of the day.
Dun,
This
dun,
time,
dun.
Jaime brought it.
You're welcome.
Jaime's bringing the English this time. Behind the facade of the timekeepers, because at this point he's the one conquering timeline after timeline after timeline,
Right.
and eventually, yeah, like that. It'll probably culminate into a whole Avengers versus
Kangs, yeah. And there again, there is a secret wars called the Kang Wars where this all kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, or at least like sub called the Kang Wars. Are we still on the Kang subject or
Yeah,
okay?
go ahead.
No, I was gonna talk about like Miss Minutes.
No, go ahead.
At this point too.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so she. You guys remember when I talked about Miss Minutes being kind of the ultimate bad guy? She wasn't the ultimate bad guy, I guess. She was kind of more than what we knew she was, though, right? Because she was the first one that popped up in the Citadel when they walked in. So I thought when I saw her, my jaw dropped. I was like, okay, is this real? Like, this is real?
I knew it.
I was like, yeah. But I mean, she didn't end up being the last one, but it was like
She's working for him
She's
and she
working for
knew.
him. Yeah. I wonder if she's like a. I wonder if she's like a version of Renslayer or something like that.
She's really advanced tech,
Yeah.
basically. Because I was still on that. I was like, what the fuck is this? But she's just really advanced tech.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
well-
so if we
But
look
she
at,
still defends him a lot, like kind of keeps secrets for him and stuff like that too.
well, she's tech.
Yeah.
So she's basically Jarvis, kind of.
Yeah.
So just more advanced
Mm.
because she can manifest and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
So to me, one thing that was kind of cool that I didn't think about before is, all right, so like, you know, everybody's phone has their own, like, we all have Samsung, so we all have Bixby.
Yeah.
Every iPhone has Siri, but with her, it looks like there's only one of her
Mhm.
because
Oh yeah.
because you know when Renslayer was trying to get
More
the
files, yep.
you know, she was busy at the Citadel.
Yeah.
So when she pops up, she's like, "What took you so long?" And she's just like, "Oh, I'm getting the files now." you know?
Yeah.
So Jarvis.
So she's a big computer system, like you're saying.
My
Yes.
God, that's
No,
exactly
like
what I
we get
said.
it.
Do you though? Do you? Because he
Yeah.
just said
We
the
need to
exact same
mansplain
thing.
it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's not me at all. That's not what I'm doing.
Whatever.
But again, she was more than what we thought she was initially.
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
notice like how like she's a little more sinister when
Demented
she popped
looking?
up this time?
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I liked it, and that's
Oh.
and the contrast in the color from her to like the Citadel,
Yeah.
was like what made her obviously pop the
Pop.
most, right? I was like, holy crap! Like my jaw, seriously. That's why I posted a little thing.
Like when
on
Kang
Instagram.
comes out, he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, does she still call me that? Creepy.
Yeah,
I like it, and I was like,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I was so excited when that happened. I was like, "What the heck? That's so crazy." She's like whatever she is. We still don't know what she is, but she's whatever she is.
I
Yeah.
also think that this is one of the things that that episodic TV has over movies, because this whole episode was basically them just talking to Kang.
Yeah.
It's pretty much an hour of them just talking to him.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
You know, and
very
this-
entertaining.
Yeah,
too.
you were
Good
you were
story.
able to get
Yeah.
a lot more of the character through that conversation.
Yeah.
His mannerisms, his cadence, like, and Jonathan Majors, again, great actor.
Yeah.
Like his facial expressions would change, you know, when they hit the threshold,
Right.
where he no longer knows what's going to happen.
Mhm. Oh
Just-
yeah.
Yeah, that the look on his face is kind of a bit of relief,
Mhm.
where he's just like, all right, whatever happens at
Yeah,
this point. I
yeah.
have no idea. But it also does look like he's kind of, well, yeah, like he wants to die at that point,
Yeah. Well,
Like,
he kind of did say
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
and
He,
I get
he
it.
just wanted to be done. Like he's been working for so long. He's just like, I'm done now. Like
That was me at the end of this week. Jesus.
Oh my
No,
God.
we had to record.
That's the only reason I'm still here.
Stop. Jose.
That and I owed Megan a bagel.
and tacos.
My debt is paid.
Not yet, sir.
Stop. Yeah.
Oh man, I lost my train of thought. I started
Oh,
thinking
boy.
about tacos.
Nah, I want tacos. Yeah. No, it was yeah, you're right. His expressions, his in those moments, every single moment that he had to change afterwards was really cool. Like you said, he went from being kind of in a panic mode at a certain point, like when he only knew what he knew up until that point, to then like being like kind of excited about what was gonna happen next. And then even down to when ultimately Sylvie kills him, right? Like even in that moment, he was still like in the sense of joy. Like, oh, see you soon, But
Yeah.
still creating that character, that idea, during that moment. That was crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we're all going towards Kang being the main villain in Quantumania,
Mm-hmm.
but this really does look like it'll be Kang the main villain, the Thanos of
Yeah, like
this
phase 4, right?
this new saga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because people were like, "Oh, this is like the villain," and this King was not a villain.
Yeah.
He's not. He did necessary things, which everyone does. You can't really say like, "Oh, well," like Loki said, not everyone is all good and not everyone is all bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was just doing things that he needed to do to keep things in order from preventing worse things from happening.
Yeah.
And there's worse, apparently.
Yeah, and that's the perspective, though, right? Because, for example, and this is the challenge, the difficulty that we have, right, with Loki and Sylvie at the end.
Very good.
Okay, this is the difficulty that we have between Sylvie and Loki at the end, right? They're kind of sitting there going back and forth, and Sylvie is just like that. I want to kill this guy. That's it. That's why I'm here. That's what I want, right? Because from her perspective, that's not the way to do things. You don't just take away people's what do they call it?
Free will.
Free will. Yeah, you don't just take away people's free will. From Loki's perspective, he's more understanding of Kang, right? From Kang's perspective and why he did what he had to do. But again, it's kind of like one of those things, right? Like which way do you go? Which way do you decide, right? Like do you allow in this situation, do you allow the timeline to exist the way it does only, and then no other timelines, but then take away the free will of everybody, right?
Yes.
So, well, not from Sylvie's perspective, because ultimately that's what happened, right?
And she's wrong, because in that case, what I was like looking at was that, or I guess what I noticed was that she was doing this for her. It was personal, like she said. It was personal for her, as in kind of like she reminded me of having a similarity to Ravonna at that point. Ravonna, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was because they were both just trying to do something for the mission, for the goal, for the cause. You can't be right if you're not willing to look at the other perspective. She didn't even try to give him a chance. It was just mostly like, well, no, it's basically what I want. It's personal to me. And when she said that, her credibility went out the window to me. It was like, once you make it like, okay, well, it's personal. It's not about everyone else. It's about you, you know?
Yeah.
Which in that case, I'm like, oh, okay, there's your Loki.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It did. She did show her self-centeredness. But she was that way from the beginning of the episode, by the way. Like, even when they got to the Citadel doors, like, she was such a hothead, like, at Loki.
Yeah.
Like, she was just, like, so instantly, like, snapping.
Such
like,
a Loki.
She was snapping at him so fast. Like, he was, like, there trying to be, like, understanding of her. And she was like, look, I'm standing here. Like, I've wanted this all my life. Give me a minute. She was showing that clear. We knew what she was going to decide in the end.
Yeah.
Like, we knew what she was going to decide in the end. But yeah, it's the whole question of the free will versus but if you think about it, even like Mobius, right? Mobius and B15, Mobius and B15 kind of went back to help people regain their free will as well. So again, it becomes a free will versus somebody just controlling the entire timeline, right? Like, it's just one person centered, and we get it, right? Like, even he explains it, like Kang explains, like, there's going to be worse, and the reason there's going to be worse is because we give people so much free will. It's just, from my perspective, I can see it from like from her angle. I'm not going to say I'm going to kill somebody about that, but like, it's just, there could have been more of a moment of like kind of coming together and talking about it and trying to figure out what to do. But it does become this situation where, like, you don't have a free will. Like, if let's say this is exactly where we exist, right? And everything that's happening is because it's already predestined, quote unquote, for it to happen. Then what choices can you ever make? You won't have those choices based on what Kang did in this situation, or quote unquote Kang.
Yeah. Well, I do think so. I actually got kicked out of church for asking this.
Oh.
Because I asked if God. Because they do tell you God gave you free will.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if he already knows everything that's gonna happen and everything you do is based on his plan, Do we really have free will?
Right.
And I think Kang points it out here when he goes, "You guys aren't here because you wanted to be. You guys are here because I paved the road for you. All you did was walk it, you know." And I think it does, because at first I was thinking, all right, just because he knows what's gonna happen, he's not causing it to happen. But I think with that line, he specifically tells you, "You're here because
I wanted you
yeah,
here."
I wanted you here. I paved the road for you. Everything you've done according to my plan."
But he's also keeping things in order. So I don't know. I seem to always agree with the villains. Apparently, I caught myself like nodding at Thanos, and then I'm over here nodding
At the ultimate bad guys.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. But he wasn't bad. I honestly don't think he was
I
bad.
agree.
I think he was doing things.
He's misunderstood.
Yes.
Well, and again, it's all from perspective, right? Because from Sylvie's perspective, he was the bad guy. He was the one that caused
But
her
as he said,
misery.
we are all villains here.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
are
yeah.
all
Oh,
villains.
yeah.
And that's
no,
been the
no
theme.
one here has their hands clean of
Right.
anything that they've done.
Right.
Sylvie's killed people,
Right.
innocent people, because they're a part of the TVA.
Yep.
Loki. Well, Loki. But, you know, like, everyone has done something.
Yeah.
Now, whose is worse? Like, I don't think Kang's is worse. I think that for the most part, he's doing something to keep things in order. So worse doesn't happen. He already said, like, do you really want to live in a world where all you're doing is fighting one another? Like, let's just say another Jaime comes out of nowhere and he's like, no, psh, just kills you for no reason. And then here comes
I'd
another
watch.
Jaime.
Wow.
Hmm. Questionable. But you know, like, it's just gonna be chaos basically, and that's what he was explaining in his little weird like animatronic motion.
Yeah.
Which I
yeah.
thought was really cool.
It was really, really cool. I love that
Yeah.
thing too. I'm like, I want one of those things. Just by the way, that's a temp pad. They called it straight up a temp pad.
Yeah.
When they were showing the scene. But yeah, it's again, it's all about like perspective, right? And the whole theme of the show was kind of that nobody's really good, nobody's really bad. You know,
well, fully
ultimately.
good and fully bad.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's no specific thing, you know. Like, you know, Sylvie is a product of what happened to her because of Kang, you know,
Yeah.
and Loki is a product of what happened to him, and Kang is a product of himself, you know, of like everything that was caused by it. So it's just, again, all from different perspectives, from the show. But I mean, that kind of going back to the temp pad situation, it reminded me of like Wakanda technology almost. Even like the lines that Killmonger had on his suit kind of reminded me of that type of design. And I really like you said, the way that the animation started coming out of the little temp pad and showing like this big old demonstration of what it was. It was so cool. He talked about Goliath.
Yes, he did.
And I think he kind of gives a nod to the what's his name? He's a descendant of Richards. What's his name? From
Nathan?
Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards.
Mr. Fantastic, right?
Yeah, he's a descendant of him, and I think he's giving like a nod to him when he's like, oh, like one of them who was a brilliant, scientist was able to like figure out a way to control him, So I'm thinking he's kind of talking about him.
Wasn't that himself though that he was talking about?
That's what I thought.
No, he says that then he was able to use that to make one timeline.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, I think I misunderstood that too. Then
I watched it this morning.
Oh, yeah, because I do have when
I could be wrong.
I do have when they talked about the first variant found Goliath. And that's how they kind of harnessed the power of like consuming time and space.
Yeah.
Was with Goliath. Like that's what gave him He Who Remains the power to control all the other timelines.
Well, he says one of my variants, and that's where I got that from, because he's all like, one of my variants was able to control the beast or something like that.
Oh,
He calls
okay.
him something.
I thought he said one of the variants, like, and I felt like he was talking about himself, like in the third
What
in
I
the
was
third
thinking
person.
was that okay, one of them learned how to do it, but fucking
He just
Kane
stole the
came and
idea.
like stabbed him,
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
he's just like, all right, he's like, well, I got this now from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So that's what I was thinking, but I mean, I could be wrong.
No, it again, like it's just whichever way. I understood it differently than how you understood it, but that's cool because I maybe I want to go back and see it again now.
Perspectives.
Yeah. Are those what are those sticks called that they used to prune people? Are they called pruning sticks? Because
Yes.
that's what I would call
Pruners.
it. The pruners. Okay. So did you guys notice that in the little holographic? I don't even know what else to call it. The little images that were going on. They
Oh,
all had-
everyone's fighting with pruning
Yeah,
sticks?
pruning
Yeah.
sticks. Yeah, that's what they were all fighting with.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're just weapons from the 31st century that we haven't seen.
Like they just brought him
What?
back and.
Well, we've
stole
seen
it.
Or, I
we've
mean,
seen
or-
them because
or
that's
for
what they
the
were using
future.
to stop everybody.
Well,
like,
yeah,
to
but
prune
I'm saying
everybody.
that we haven't seen in
Our
the current
timeline,
timeline, our current time.
Okay.
So it's just future weapons, maybe.
Yeah.
But we did find out that Ravonna knows that they're not being killed when they're pruned, because that was always the assumption. You know, when you get pruned, you're killed.
Yeah.
But you know, she mentions like, oh, if anybody could have made it back from the void, it would have been you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she knows they're going to the void.
Yeah, she did know in the previous episode. She knew the void situation. She knew that. I think so. Even the last conversation that we had about Ravonna was around whether she knew, like, whether she was okay with this. Like, did she know everything and she was okay with it? And it still seems like she doesn't know, like, really who the He Who Remains was or
Yeah.
is. You know. That's the only thing that I like. That's what I understood like from her in the last moment was that like she ultimately didn't know
Who's controlling
controlling the
everything.
timeline,
Yeah,
yeah.
because Miss Minutes makes that comment when
Yeah.
she's like, oh, he thought you'd be better served with these files.
Right,
And she's
right.
like, who's he?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, and she was like don't worry about it or something like
Yeah.
that, right?
No,
Like,
she just completely ignored the question.
Yeah.
She was like,
yeah.
bye.
Yeah. and then that's when she and Mobius kind of went at it. Like they got into a fight. They got into a fight, and Mobius lost. And then
Yeah, that was not a fight.
it was not, I mean, that was I'm like, was it supposed
A
to be
scuffle.
a fight? It wasn't even that. She kicked him, and he was
Yeah.
on the ground. Like, that was it. You know?
She just took his toy and pushed him, basically.
and then she just took the pruning stick, with
Yeah.
her too. And I'm like, is that like, are they gonna use that to like track her and find her? I don't know. I started just asking myself all these questions because it was just so easy how Mobius went down.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, really?
it
Mobius?
did seem kind of like he just let her.
Yeah, like
He didn't even try.
like fine, here you go.
He's like, eh.
Yeah, here's the stick. Here's the stick too, even though I'm on the ground holding it, like yeah. And then she disappears into some some time that we don't know, which
Yeah.
which is the information that he provided. That the Miss Minutes provided for. I don't know.
Oh, but we did get to see one of her variants.
Oh yeah,
The principal.
yeah. I
Uh,
wrote her name. down
Rebecca Terminate. I remember it was like Terminate.
the way the lettering was, because it was like, I don't know, fancy
yeah,
lettering because
the
it was
old
certificate.
English type.
Yeah, I thought it was a C, so I'm like, Corminate?
I think it's Terminate.
Corminate? Oh, okay, maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just thought
Terminate.
that was funny because it was like Terminate and Renslayer.
Oh yeah, maybe it's like, maybe that's what it is, right? Like it's just a different language of it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, because Ravonna and Rebecca I think is her first name.
Yeah. Wait, Ramona. Oh,
Ravonna.
on the receipt.
Yeah, on
the
the
certificate.
yes, on the certificate.
Receipt. Yeah.
On the receipt of her birth.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna see so much of this in the other movies, because then, so let's say let's talk about when he got killed, when he ultimately was killed by Sylvie, right? And how the timeline just started spreading
Yeah.
and getting crazy. So it's obvious that it's gonna lead to everything else that we're expecting this year or
Yeah,
the next
the multiverse
years.
of madness.
Multiverse of Madness, the Quantumania situation, right? Maybe.
Yeah, so that's one thing. So it looks like Kang will be the villain in season 2 of Loki, and I'm just wondering how will they do it where he's the villain in season 2 of Loki. Well, I mean, I guess they can, where he's the villain in Loki and the Marvel universe, because there's all the different kinds.
Yeah. You were asking how they're gonna do it. You
Yeah,
think
I
that
was
he's
just-
gonna be still the bad guy in season 2?
Well, yeah, because it only makes sense. It's not like season 2 is gonna start and well the Avengers stopped Kang, so we're all just gonna sit here holding our prune sticks.
I want to see where it goes. I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
I honestly did think this was the end of the series, but I'm okay with it not ending. I'm happy. I did think, and I don't mean to be kind of morbid. I did think Loki should have died in this final episode, even by at one point when Sylvie went to go like slash him,
yeah.
and then he teleported in front of, like, that would have been a
like
perfect
how
moment.
did she stop?
How did she
too?
stop? How did he stop her? It made no sense.
Yeah, because she just stopped. Like,
Yeah.
on a dime.
Yeah, exactly. And somehow he didn't die in that moment. I thought that would have been a great ending, because then that would have, I mean, it would have been a series finale for Loki itself, right? But we
Yes.
still would have had Sylvie left over. Not left over, but she still would have been able to continue.
We still would have had Loki.
Yeah, we still would have had Loki. Yeah, exactly.
So just like Black Widow, it still could be called Loki,
Right.
and you still have Loki, just
Right.
not Tom Hiddleston anymore.
Exactly.
That would have been a good exit to him, but
Yeah.
I'm glad we get to see
Yeah.
more. Honestly, I understand that sometimes they'll overstay their welcome.
Yeah.
But I think Disney has done a great enough job so far with the writing.
Yeah.
Where characters don't feel overused or overstayed.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Who have we really lost from, like, the Marvel universe? Who are, like, the ones that?
Well, I mean,
I guess
Robert Downey
Captain.
Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say Captain
and-
America and Iron Man at
Tony
this
Stark,
point, right?
Captain America.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
then Black Widow now. Well, the original Black Widow. Okay, so
Yes.
that's a good amount of characters so far.
Yeah. Uncle Ben.
Multiple times.
Uncle Ben's the only one that never comes back.
Yeah.
Well, the multiverse. So now
Well-
we're gonna see him killed in all of them.
So technically, he does
Now
come back.
Now Uncle Ben's gonna be Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben's been, well, at least in two of the universes. He was in the first, the Tobey Maguire universe, and then he was also in the second one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they didn't kill him
They
a
were
third
just-
time.
just
He's
skipped
not
it.
like Batman's parents,
Uh-huh.
where they kill them in every movie, every iteration.
Yeah.
We get to see Batman's parents die.
Yeah. You guys are gonna love this. Infinite Devils. You came to kill the devil was something that
Was it
Kang
Mephisto?
said. So ultimately, he's Mephisto now. No, but
I like that line,
Yeah, I
though.
like that line too. You came to kill the devil, and he talked about infinite amount of devils. You came to kill the devils, but you're gonna get an infinite amount of devils now. So there was a big old theme about the devils, guys, and
Oh
it's
my
still
God.
there.
Damn it, Jaime. It's Mephisto. Okay?
It was fun. It is.
One thing that I was a little disappointed at
Mm-hmm.
is we didn't find out what Sylvie did to be pulled out of her time.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was gonna be a reveal this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Because they also made it a point to talk about it in the elevator
Yeah.
scene, and then nothing happened with it. You're
Yeah,
right.
it didn't lead anywhere.
Yeah. So we still have questions unanswered, unfortunately. with
Which
stuff.
I'm pretty sure they're probably saving for 2, maybe.
Yeah.
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 So, I
Does
mean,
it-
because they already knew they were gonna do it too.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm curious though. Like, does it matter? Like, why?
Wait, I just realized that Kevin Feige is the Kang of the MCU.
Why?
oh my God.
He's a
controlling the
keeper. Yeah, he's
timeline.
controlling the timeline.
He's gonna be the ultimate bad guy in the movies. He's the Kang. He's the original Kang.
All
Yeah.
right.
No.
my God.
No. Yeah, but I don't know if it even like really even matters, because like ultimately the goal for so I guess maybe they did kind of explain it though. It wasn't so much that she did something, but he wanted the two Lokis to show up at his place in the end, because that's what he said.
Well, yeah, but
Well, he said that he was waiting for the one, but it ended up being 2.
Yeah.
So maybe he was looking for Sylvie, but it ended up being Loki
And Sylvie.
and our Loki who changed, and he's like, oh, okay. I just absolutely love Loki. Like, he's so adorable. Like, he's just like the change. I like to see that. Like,
the character development.
yeah, like it really. I really like that. I like how they do it, kind of like fluidly. Like it just goes together.
It fits. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's reasons behind it rather than plot points.
Yeah. Sorry if I changed the subject, guys. I was
No,
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 you're good.
that's fine.
I was in my own world, and then I was like,
Yeah, there's a twinkle in your eye. There's a sparkle.
Hedelstein. No, Heddleston. Yeah.
Can't even get his name right.
Yeah,
It's Frankenstein.
they did. They did. I mean, they ended up being the two. Yeah. There again. So it was just that questions, right? Like we still have questions about what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
And we don't get to find out next week.
We don't get to find out next week. But although I thought it should have gone a certain direction, and again, we talked about it that like they can't do that in the last episode. At least it opens up a bunch of doors for like what's gonna happen next, which makes sense for like the What If series that's coming out, the movies that we talked about already. It's just let's see where it goes.
Yeah,
I'm
for
excited.
me, I didn't think it would make sense for them to introduce Kang.
Yeah.
If it was a finite episode, you know.
Oh, yeah,
If it was
yeah.
the
I
end
get
of the
you.
series,
Mhm.
There being a series 2 now it makes sense.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because they're not just throwing a random character at you that they have to develop in one episode.
Right.
Like they threw this character at you and gave you the development and didn't kill him off at the end.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
like they gave you the character and his motivation.
And they did kill him.
But,
but there's
I
an
think-
infinite amount of
I
him.
think even if there was no season 2, like I still think it was actually good because Kang is like
Everywhere?
yeah, he's everywhere. He's a multi character. So he like Jonathan Majors is gonna have like a lot of roles to fill.
Yeah.
You know, so he's not gonna portray him like like he did this one. You know, so it even if it did end here, and they introduced this version of Kang.
Mhm.
It still made a lot of sense
No,
to
yeah,
do
you're-
so.
you're right,
And
actually.
even like, because I already knew, like when I was watching, I was like, I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, oh, she's gonna kill him, and he's all like, you watched this already? I'm like, no, like I already know she has to, because if he
That's the
doesn't
end of
die,
her
we
arc.
don't get more multiverse. Well, we don't get the multiverse.
Yeah.
Like we don't get that madness,
Yeah.
that they keep like telling us about. So it doesn't make sense for him. It didn't make sense for him to stay alive, but it did make sense for him to appear as this version.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I get that.
This variant. Yeah.
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 So, oh, that was another thing. How did you say variant? I'm sorry. It was just things that I was like watching and I was thinking about while I was watching it, but it's just popping in my head now because I have no notes. But
Shame.
hey, are you gonna ring bells at me? But Ravona's disdain for variants, that I thought maybe has to do with some kind of like self-loathing that she's not the only one, like because she's like she really doesn't like variants. Like when she's talking to Mobius at the end, she's like, oh, you chose those variants over a friendship, and I'm
Right.
just like, girl, like he's a variant too.
Yeah,
You're
you're
a
all
variant
variants.
too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? And
Yeah.
she's just like, oh, like she's just so angry about it, but she's been angry about variants. So I don't know, like everyone else is like, okay, we have to do this because this is our job, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
variants kind of disturb the timeline. But for her, she just doesn't like them.
It's personal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of like, I wonder if it's like she has a disdain for, like it's like a self-loathing kind of thing. But I mean, it could just be that because of Sylvie or whatever.
She's never been like awakened though, right? Like herself, she's never been enchanted.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I mean, so she ultimately doesn't understand the things that B-15 and Mobius like understand. Like she doesn't know that she had probably a previous life and she was just taken out of that.
Or
previous
maybe
life.
she's aware of it, but she just doesn't remember it. Like she knows it happened, but she doesn't
Oh.
remember it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because she doesn't have the memory attachments
Yeah.
like Mobius and like B-15
But
do now.
if we see the other on this latest episode when
Uh-huh.
they go to that mean hunter, I don't know his name. I don't know.
D90, I think it was.
Girl.
the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter D90.
Wow.
I was ready.
You were on it. But
Because he was the one that they sent to get B-15
B-15.
when he met the variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're all lucky here that I'm able to actually just see what's on the screen a little bit, all right? We're not gonna get names here. But when he comes in and he's like, what's going on here? You know,
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
he sees the variant of Ravonna, he's like, what's going on here? And it's explained to him. He's not enchanted.
Yeah.
He's going to be explained to, as you know, and he's just obviously.
Yeah,
It
like-
seems like the hunters are on their side about this, not on Ravonna. Not how Ravonna feels. Ravonna,
Or at least they're getting to that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, to that point, yeah, you're right. They don't have the memories of their past lives, though, and neither does Ravonna. But I just think Ravonna's,
to indoctrinate.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
or
It
she's
is.
just a boss.
She's an
basically.
enforcer. Yeah, like she's just that's who she's always. Well, she's probably the one that's been around the longest then at this point because yeah, like she's just that person, you know. And then ultimately, doesn't she end up being the wife of Kang anyway, or
Yeah,
something like
they're-
that? You
they're
mentioned that
lovers.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
so-
we all know that she knows that they're all variants because
Mhm.
of the episode with
Mobius.
C20.
Oh.
Yeah.
When she's interviewing, interrogating
Yeah.
C20.
Right.
And you know when C20 is talking about her past life, that's when she gets up to go and
Right.
turn the camera off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean she's aware of it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's always just been aware of it and just yeah, like Megan says, just really dislikes herself.
Yeah. Well, and again, she still doesn't like have the memories that certain other people have up
Yeah.
until that point, you know.
But who knows? Maybe she's always had them though.
Yeah,
Maybe she's
that's
always
true.
been aware. Maybe she knows exactly where she came from.
Yeah. Well, and so that was kind of my point at one point when I talked about her being a variant of like that world specifically, right?
Mhm.
Because like if you think about it, right, there could technically be a variant that exists in the TVA, right? That just always existed in the TVA. That's
Yeah.
just how they were, right? And so maybe that's just how she is, and that's why she defends it so much because she was the one variant that specifically was born into that, or let's say not born, but that's just what she wants to
I
be.
mean, over here, I'm like, they're not born in the TVA.
You don't think though, like at a
We had
certain
this
point,
discussion.
like, and so that's the question. You don't think that at one point, like,
Like when
any of
somebody
them-
was born in the Matrix.
yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Like, you don't think at one point, like, somebody, like,
No, there's no children in the TVA. We've not seen any children.
That's a good
we,
point.
We haven't seen any
Yeah.
anything that indicates there's children in the TVA.
I mean, it's a
all
good
seem
point.
to be adults.
It's a good point.
I mean, is there hanky panky going on?
well, that's what I'm
Maybe.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's like human nature, no? So, like,
I mean, but are they brainwashed to the point where it's just like
Just doesn't
job,
happen?
job? Because
Well, we
that's
don't
kind
know.
of how what's his name was too. The
Po' Boy?
Mobius? D90?
yeah,
Which one?
Po-
I just remember Po' Boy from
Po' Boy?
he was
The
the,
Good Place.
accountant guy.
Oh, okay.
Like the
What's a
accountant.
Fish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was just kind of basically about his job, and everyone seems to kind of be like that. So and they're brainwashed. So I don't know if they're like manipulated to the point where it's like just the job exists, nothing else.
So many questions.
So and there's no children, so
Yeah.
I don't think
That
anyone's
we've seen.
born in the TVA.
What if they don't come to the TVA? What
Yeah,
if they just
the-
go to the Citadel?
they're-
I mean, not
they're-
the Citadel, but the city. scheme
they're
that
they're
they
all
have.
in that super cramped city space.
In the
Something's
ghetto.
bound to happen. You just touch somebody in the wrong way. I enjoyed the series a lot. Ultimately, it was a great series. I was so into it. And I think again, a lot of it had to do with us and what we do with this podcast. So I love it. I'm excited to see what's next.
Yeah,
with
and
everything.
again, I still say that I enjoyed this series a lot more than I did both WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter
I
Soldier.
agree with that.
I know Megan's WandaVision girl.
Mhm.
I get it. WandaVision was great.
Yeah, it was. And what happened with WandaVision is that they kind of cut out a lot of things that could have probably made it even better at the end, especially with the last episode. Like one of the things that I didn't like is how they just cut out Darcy at the end. And I was like,
Oh
how
yeah, I
dare
don't
you?
like that either.
Yeah,
I
but
wish they had more of her.
yeah, it was because of the pandemic though. They couldn't
Mhm.
they couldn't film things in the same way. They couldn't fly her out, things like that. So specifically that. But there were additional things that they were going to add to the series.
They were gonna do that with Loki as well. It was gonna be a different ending.
Oh.
They were gonna actually do King Loki,
Oh.
which is why we see like
Oh.
Loki as like like a king and all.
Yeah.
That. But they didn't because COVID and all this stuff. So there
Wow.
were like a lot of different things they were gonna change, but they ended up going a
They
different way.
adapted.
But I'm kind of
Yeah.
happy they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I would have, like I said, like I was saying, I know it's a show about Lokis or different Lokis, but I don't think I would have liked the King Loki, like being,
The ultimate
Yeah.
the ultimate answer. The
I
ultimate bad
like
guy.
that we got or a version of Immortus, you
So-
know?
maybe
without
that's
saying
why.
that.
Maybe that's why it ended up being a season 2. Because how come we all were under the impression that this was going to be a series finale? Like why? Because I definitely had that impression.
I feel like that's what the first two were. So that's just
Yeah.
what we've been conditioned to think.
Oh, got it. So we just
Goddamn Disney.
well,
Our all hell our Disney overlords.
You joke,
Kang.
but I'm on board with
I'm
that.
not. There is no joking there.
I absolutely love Disney.
I'm smiling because I feel like I have to.
they're making
They-
you smile.
Yeah, they will take you.
Smile,
out.
haha.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I want that as my ringtone.
I got
just
that
click-
from South Park. Like when he's like, you don't fuck with Disney.
Oh my
Like-
god, that's really good.
That's a great Mickey.
Yeah. You do some voice work over there.
No.
Just gotta do it for me.
Oh my god.
Wow. Jose, you have a lot of interesting
Quirks.
things that do it for you.
I mean, I'm versatile.
Yeah.
Clearly, slut.
We can find this out real quick.
Oh my.
I started watching My Hero Academy.
Academia.
Academia, excuse me.
Damn.
I started
Megan,
watching.
calm down. Sit down. It's okay. It's
I was
okay.
gonna get slapped. No, but yes, My Hero Academia. I started, and you said Cork right now, so that's why I was like, oh, cool, yeah, so cool.
Where
But,
are you at right now?
like episode 3 or something
Oh
like
my
that. Yeah, I
God.
just started.
I'm
It's
behind.
I'm
It's so
excited.
good. I
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
I'm really surprised I didn't start watching this sooner. I love stuff like that. Did we talk about Steven Universe?
Mm-mm.
No. Do you like Steven Universe?
I've never watched it.
Oh my god, it's so good. You should watch it. There's short episodes. It's like 15 minutes,
Okay.
but it's a really good series. Anyway, it kind of there's certain things that kind of trigger a response from me, like a really like Pokemon, obviously because it's like the thing I grew up with, and then even now that I'm an adult, I saw Steven Universe, and I was and I just like it made me like kind of teary eyed watching it too, Steven Universe, because it's so good.
Is it kind of like Adventure Time?
I don't know if it's I don't really know because I never really watched Adventure
Oh,
Time.
Adventure Time is so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I know is really good that I need to catch up on. I don't watch enough stuff apparently, but My Hero Academia has kind of almost triggered that response with me. So I'm just like, oh,
I freaking love My Hero
Yeah.
Academia. Like I'm stuck on it right now. I'm probably like 2 episodes behind.
Cool.
Because I'm watching it like
How many
like
seasons
currently.
is it?
I think it's 2 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that far behind then. It's only 2 seasons. I thought it was like 5 or something like that.
No, it's like 2, I think.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
think so far, but it's so good. Like I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's such a good show.
Nice. I'm excited. Jose, you should watch it.
He doesn't watch
Hey guys,
anime.
I'm back. What did I miss?
He's here.
He's here. We just don't
Yeah.
care.
Story of my life.
I care. Stop.
I
Sound like
don't.
you sound like every woman I've ever dated.
Oh my god! This is why I tell Jose he's attracted to the wrong gender.
Just can't help it.
Yeah.
You mean it's not a choice?
Yeah. Who knew? I'm over here trying to pray the straight away. Although I've come to realize
I can help with that if you want.
I've come to realize though that if it wasn't for the sex, I could be gay. And you're just hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah, sure. That's what we do. We just hang out.
I mean, you could still have the sex. I don't know what's going on here, right?
Oh, I mean, it's up to Jose. Like, you
Oh
know,
my.
like you just close your eyes.
Any port in a storm?
And what?
Any port in a storm?
Sure. That's what you could call it. Just put the lights out. Got nothing to worry about.
All right. So that happened, folks.
It did.
You're welcome.
I'm not as predatory as I sounded right now, by the way. Jose is.
They both are.
Megan's probably the most predatory of the group. So.
How?
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
we
I'm the
know
most
what
angry.
you
Yeah. I feel like you implant ideas into our heads.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you're the whatever.
I plant seeds, and then I water them,
Inceptor.
and then I
don't
let them
know.
go.
But yeah.
are. All right. So that happened.
Why are you blushing so hard? Jesus. Is your penis blushing?
Yeah, all my blood is
I want
rushing
to go
elsewhere.
home now.
So, I was trying to figure out what we can do for next week since Loki's done.
Yeah.
And this actually just gave me a good idea. I think we should do each pick 2 or 3 shows maybe and recommend it next week.
Cool.
Talk about the shows, why we like it.
Yeah. I like
Let me
that
know if you guys
idea.
are in. Maybe we
Megan?
should have this conversation off the air.
And try to figure it out. I like the idea, Megan.
Megan watches stuff.
I don't do anything.
That's why you watch stuff.
I don't watch anything.
Well, I mean,
I've never watched
you
it.
listen
I can't
to it in the
even
background.
see. We both know my vision is bad.
She watches TV by echolocation too.
Oh my god. Or
I,
even
I
if
hear what's going on.
I was gonna say, or even if like our audience has something they want to recommend, don't forget to email us, and then we
Yeah.
can check it out that way.
Email,
maybe.
DM, everything's on Instagram.
Yes,
The
and they
email-
will respond to that.
Yes. But before we go though, I know since Black Widow just came out, so I wanted to see where it ranked along the top 10 Marvel movies, but kind of wanted to see if you guys could guess what the top 10 Marvel movies are. Could take turns. Megan goes first.
Yeah.
So just Marvel
The only
movie.
movie that exists for me is Civil War, so that's it. That's it.
All right. Civil War is number 8 with $408.1 million.
Is Endgame number 1?
I was gonna say Endgame.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Start your
taking my
turn,
turn,
Megan.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say Endgame. Well, I mean, of course it would be though, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, half of that money is mine.
I'm not sure. I don't think this is a worldwide box office because this one just says 858.4 million for Avengers Endgame, so it might just be the Americas.
Oh, okay.
But all right, so Megan.
I already went twice. What are you talking about?
No, we gave Jaime the Endgame because that's.
No, but I
All right,
still said it.
Jaime, go.
So which one's number 2? Is the
No, just guess. I have the top 15 here.
wait? What
Well, the
am I
top
guessing
16.
then?
Just guess a Marvel movie and see if it's in the top 10.
16.
Oh,
Isn't there only
uh,
10 movies?
There's 23 Marvel movies
Really?
in the MCU.
And I've just sat there through all of them in a week?
Yes.
Huh. I really do nothing.
23. Well, 24 now.
Oh, wow. Look at me, huh? Must be some kind of Guinness record.
Infinity War then.
Infinity War is number 3.
Number
I
three.
guess Jaime go again.
Okay, so for Black Panther number 2.
Black Panther is number 2.
Oh, nice.
So Black Panther at 700.1 million and Avengers Infinity War at 678.8 million.
Cool.
Megan?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy is number 10 with 389.8 million.
Do I go again?
No, Jaime.
This is for the first Homecoming, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Homecoming is actually number 11.
Okay.
So no point for you.
Top 10. Dang.
Megan?
Captain America.
The first Avenger is not even in the top 16 actually.
That's horrible. That's a great movie. That list is wrong. Throw it in the trash.
Yeah, not even in the first 16 in the top 16. Jaime?
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron is number 5, $459 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's... Well, I guess since it's like an Avenger movie, that makes sense. But people are like, oh, it's the worst movie. So
I think it's the worst movie.
shut up.
I do not
Shut
like
your
Age of
poor
Ultron.
mouth. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not. I did not like Age of Ultron.
It doesn't like you either.
I could tell about how bad it was.
It wasn't that bad. I liked it.
It's pretty bad.
I liked it.
All right, give me a movie.
No, I liked it. Let's go with Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel is number 6, $426.8
I
million.
knew it.
Why?
Fucking knew it.
But okay. I'm gonna choose Guardians of the Galaxy.
She
next.
already did.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Wow.
Did you say that?
Yes.
What number was it?
Number 10.
What?
There's only 2 movies left.
Okay, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man is not
Not
in
on
the
the
top
list, okay.
20, not in the top 16 at least.
Iron Man.
Iron Man 1,
Mm.
number 13. No point for you.
I still get a point because I'm on the list.
So I guess we'll say Black Widow at this point.
Black Widow is actually number 16.
Oh wow. So okay, so beyond that.
Well, keep in
top
mind
15
that
list.
also Black Widow
Oh, it
came
just
out
came
during
out
a
recently.
pandemic.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Duh.
No.
Your turn.
I actually went to the theater to watch Black Widow again.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, and the part you mentioned about, I guess,
The windows.
slight spoilers with Thunderbolt Ross, like he's meant to be sick.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about the fact that she mentions
That he
like,
had a heart
Yeah,
attack.
it's just
Yeah,
like you.
or triple
What is it, like the
bypass.
triple? How many triple bypasses?
Yeah. Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
good one.
I'm pretty sure that was number 14.
How?
Well, because people didn't know it was going to be good at that point. Yeah.
I think at that point you're just like,
Yeah,
the
'cause
Thor
That's
movie.
such a good movie.
It
Yeah.
is one of the best. I
Yeah.
think.
But part 1 and part 2 were not. I mean, part 2 especially was not that.
Part
were not
1
that
was
great.
good. I liked part 1.
Okay.
I've rewatched it multiple times.
Sorry.
Let's not go there.
Just-
Okay. No, I think part 1 was actually good. Part 2
Yeah, it was-
is terrible because
yeah.
I can't even remember what happens, and
Yeah.
I've watched them.
And it has a
multiple
doctor in
times.
it,
Has a doctor in it?
Christopher Eccleston.
Is he?
Yeah, he's Malachi,
Okay.
the ninth Doctor. No,
No, yeah, I know who he is. I
Yeah.
just didn't.
he's in Thor 2.
No, look at that. The more you know, huh? But then to be fair, I don't even remember what happens in Thor 2. Like,
Not
and
much.
then
Yeah.
And then I know I always have this feeling of like, oh, it's over, but it's not over, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why does it keep going?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it doesn't end like where it's supposed to.
Doesn't
It's
Loki
weird.
die like twice in that movie too, in itself?
Loki
I don't
does
know,
in every
something like
movie.
Yeah. So Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange not in the top 16.
Jeez, What movies
That's a good
exist?
movie.
You're missing 2.
2 from the top 10, right?
Yes.
Um,
You're missing
are-
number 4 and number 7.
We said number 4,
Captain
didn't we?
America, Winter Soldier.
Not in the top 16.
Really?
The only Captain America on here is Civil War, number 8.
Civil War is so good.
Civil War is really good.
I love that movie.
I don't know what else we have now because
So you give up?
I give up.
So none of the Thor movies are on there. You said.
Ragnarok was in 14.
So do I have to pick? Wait, are we picking like we have to say
Yes.
which one? Oh, okay. Well, what the fuck?
Well, that's why you've already mentioned all 3 Captain Americas and don't think you have to name each one individually.
Okay, so let's go with Thor number 1, I guess.
Thor 1 is not in the top anything.
I
So-
thought they would have at least made it, only because it was like the,
Well, yeah,
the
the
beginning. Yeah.
Iron Man 2 then?
Iron Man
Ooh.
2 is number 15.
Oh my god.
This is hard.
What other movies have come out? Give me a second.
I mean, we're just gonna start listing like all Iron Mans, all Captain Americas. What are we forgetting? I feel like what are we forgetting? Because we said Guardians, we said Ant-Man already.
Yep, didn't even show up.
Wow, Ant-Man was
You
really
guys
good
can't just
too.
give up.
Ant-Man 2?
No. Again, not even in the top 16.
Yeah, but you said Ant-Man 1. You said we have to say which one it is.
Yeah, and still no.
So you can't just fucking change the rules.
I didn't. I just
You
said
ju-
no.
you just changed fucking
Neither
rules.
of them are on
That's
here.
why no one wants to play, Jose. Alright.
You guys just suck.
No one cares about your stupid games.
Spider-Man 2 at this point.
Spider-Man 2, Far From Home is number 9. Actually, you guys haven't gotten that one either.
Oh, okay, cool. So Far
So
From
all of
Home.
a sudden,
Yeah, there's
all
two
of a sudden
more.
it fucking matters.
Which are the last two? What are the last two, Megan? Do you give up? Just say you give up. What?
I will never give up.
We're gonna be here all day.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And Megan just watched all of these like yesterday somehow.
This morning. No, go ahead. I give up.
Hi, Megan. You
I
want to
give
take
up.
another guess?
No, I'm done.
All right, number 1, Avengers Endgame. Number 2, Black Panther. Number 3, Avengers Infinity War. Number 4 that you guys hadn't gotten, The Avengers.
Oh, the first Avengers.
Just the first one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because
number
it fucking matters now. Fuck you.
Number 5. Oh no, hold on. You guys got Age of Ultron. You have Endgame, and you have Infinity War. That's 3 Avengers.
This is why no
movies.
one plays games with you. Okay, you don't know how. Thank God.
I think it's so bad that she lost.
What was the rest of them?
Avengers: Age of Ultron is a 5. Captain Marvel is number 6.
Okay.
Iron Man 3 is number 7, which you guys didn't get.
Okay, yeah, and I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say Iron Man 3
is
next.
Terrible.
It was
I
terrible.
wasn't even gonna
It was
put
terrible.
that
You
on
know
the
what?
list.
Iron
But people,
Man.
it had a good reputation at that point.
I didn't
though,
like
right?
Iron Man 3 the first 2 times I watched it. I think the third time I watched it, I was like, all right, this isn't as bad as I remember.
Yeah.
No,
I'm still not
it's
gonna say
bad.
it's a great movie, but
Yeah.
it's not as bad as I remember.
But again, I could see why it would make probably
Because
the most
it's
because
got the
yeah,
sec-
it has
Yeah,
that
the-
reputation
the
right at
second
that
one.
point.
The first
yeah.
one was good. The second one was bleh, and then the third one was just terrible. I really didn't like it. Like, I don't understand this. These people are weird. You know what? I would have lost anyways because people are warped, so it doesn't even matter.
So Captain America: Civil War, number 8. Number 9,
be number
Spider-Man:
1.
Far From Home, and number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, Black Widow did not rank up there, but again, released during a pandemic. Although
Yeah.
it was released in two different services. Although I'm not, I don't think it's mentioning Disney Plus.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
just doing like box office.
Yeah, box office was $270 million. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a good.
Ugh,
It was a
broke
good movie.
bitch. No, I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
God.
It had to be the woman. All right, so next week, I guess we'll figure out what we're gonna do next week outside.
Yes. Outside.
Outside of this recording.
Yeah.
But stay tuned because there will be an episode next week. At least that is the plan currently.
Currently.
But do you guys have anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
No, I've been like every time you ask, it's no.
All right, Megan's hungry apparently again. So tune in next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.